You're not lazy. You can do things. You've done things before. There are moments when you focus, when you complete things, when everything feels normal. So why is it that, on other days, you can't even begin? You sit there, thinking about what you need to do. Plan it. You organize it. You even imagine how you'll do it. But when it's time to start, something changes. You don't move. You wait. You delay. You tell yourself, "I'll start soon." And that soon never really comes. Instead, you pick up your phone, you scroll, you watch something, you distract yourself. And in that moment, it feels fine. It even feels easier. But later, something else shows up. That quiet pressure, that uncomfortable feeling, that voice in your head telling you should have done it. And then the thought appears, maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I don't have discipline. Maybe something is wrong with me. But that explanation doesn't actually fit. Because lazy people don't think about doing things this much. Lazy people don't feel this much guilt after doing nothing. Lazy people don't keep coming back to the same task again and again. So something else is happening. Something you don't see clearly, but you feel it. Because your brain is not designed to make you productive. It's designed to protect you, and protection is not always obvious. It doesn't always look like fear. Sometimes it looks like delay, avoidance, distraction. Let's slow this down. Imagine a simple moment. You open your laptop. You look at the task, and for a second, everything is quiet. But then something shifts, your energy drops. Your body feels heavier. Your mind suddenly feels tired, and you don't know why. Nothing happened. No one said anything, but inside, something changed. That moment is important, because that's where your brain makes a decision, not a conscious decision, but a reaction. It scans the situation and asks, is this safe? Not physically, but emotionally. Does this feel clear? Does this feel manageable? Does this feel like something I can handle? And if the answer is uncertain, even slightly, the brain reacts, it moves you away from the source, and it does that by lowering your motivation, by creating distraction, by making everything else feel easier. This is not laziness. This is avoidance. And avoidance is a protection mechanism. Because something about that task feels uncomfortable. It could be that it feels too big, too unclear, too important, or too connected to how you see yourself. Because when something matters, it also carries risk. What if you fail? What if it's not good enough? What if you start and realize you don't know what you're doing? Those thoughts don't always come clearly. Sometimes they stay in the background, quiet, but active. And your brain reacts to them before you even notice them. This is how avoidance begins, not as a choice, but as a response. You don't decide, I don't want to do this. Instead, your brain redirects you towards something safer. Scrolling, watching, thinking, anything that reduces that internal pressure. And in the moment, it works. You feel relief. You feel lighter. You feel less tension. But that relief is temporary, because the task is still there, and now it feels heavier because you didn't do it. So the next time you face it again, the resistance is stronger, the discomfort is higher, and the avoidance becomes easier. This is how the cycle forms, slowly, quietly, without you noticing. Your brain learns starting equals discomfort, avoiding equals relief. And once that connection is made, it repeats it automatically. This is why you can spend hours thinking about doing something, but still not start because thinking feels safe. Thinking keeps you in. Control thinking doesn't expose you, but action is different. Action introduces uncertainty. Action introduces risk, and your brain is always trying to reduce risk. There is also another layer that makes this stronger, and that is overwhelm. When something feels too big, your brain doesn't break it into parts, it reacts to the whole thing. And the whole thing feels impossible. So instead of starting small, you don't start at all, because your brain prefers no action over overwhelming action. And then there's something else: perfection. The belief that if you're going to do something, it has to be done right, that it has to be good, that it has to be complete. And that belief adds pressure, because now starting is not just starting, it's performing. And if you don't feel ready, you wait, you delay, you avoid, and again, it feels like laziness. But it's not. It's hesitation, created by pressure. And the more you repeat this, the more it becomes your pattern, until you start believing that this is who you are, that you are lazy, that you lack discipline, that something is wrong with you. But the truth is, your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you from discomfort, from uncertainty, from emotional risk. And once you see it this way, something shifts, because now you're not fighting yourself, you're understanding yourself. And that changes how you respond. Instead of forcing yourself, you make the task feel safer. You make it smaller, clearer, lighter. You remove the pressure of doing it perfectly. You allow yourself to start imperfectly, because starting imperfectly feels safer than not starting at all. And when your brain feels safe, it moves. Not instantly, not dramatically, but gradually. And that's enough, because movement creates clarity. And clarity reduces fear, and once fear reduces, starting becomes easier. So the next time you feel stuck, don't ask, "Why am I lazy?" Ask, "What is my brain trying to avoid?" Because that question leads you forward, and understanding is what breaks the cycle. Not pressure, not force, not guilt. You are not lazy, you are responding to something deeper. And once you understand that, you don't need to fight yourself anymore. You just need to work with your mind instead of against it.